to somebody who did not play quickly or efficiently or fast. Bryson DeChambeau, who spent the I didn't even look at the timer, but he spent quite a while.
I think he's still alongside that fairway.
Zeke, let's cue up VO65. This was Bryson was Friday, right? This was Bryson on Friday on hole 5, and steps up, and the RNA, the rules officials, Royal and Ancient, just saying that he improved the lie of his backswing or whatever it was, and whether it was intentional or not, it did. And many of the golfers that were asked about it afterwards, agreed that they don't know if it was intentional or not, but that it clearly did help him. And then he gets into this argument with the rules officials that lasted seemingly forever. And it'd be one thing if it was just a brief argument and whatever, but it was so much more than that. Bryson, you can lip read, and it was reported afterwards. He thought about not playing the rest of the weekend, like threatening not to play. Where it's like if
his agent basically told reporters,
if you're the RNA,
as
how
they
are you
were leaving, we'll see.
Yeah, I'd just be like, okay, see ya, or like, ooh, I'm so, like,
yeah.
I think he has a far greater sense of self than any golfer really should, or at least somebody who hasn't won 14 majors. Like, congratulations on having a massive YouTube following.
Yeah.
And, improving your persona of what it was 5 years ago. But things like this, arguing with rules officials, threatening not to play, reportedly, I don't know if it's a threat, but saying, I'm going to call the president, threatening to call Donald Trump because you're assessed a 2-stroke penalty on a Friday at the Open.
It worked for Balogun.
Yeah, but Balogun wasn't involved in that. There's a very big difference. That was not Balogun's doing.
And reportedly, Bryson was denied, calling the president. Like, to me, it just reeks of like petulant child doesn't get his way, so I'm going to throw a tantrum. I'm going to threaten not to play because I have a bunch of followers, and you're not going to want these people to. What are they going to do? What are his followers going to tweet at the Royal and Ancient, being like, "How dare you assess a 2-stroke penalty on Bryson DeChambeau?" Like,
do they even have a Twitter account? Is the question. How many people on staff
threatening to call the president? Like, it's just such a baby tantrum type of thing to do, and like this was the stuff that he tried to distance himself from. This was the stuff that he started this YouTube channel to do all these crazy videos, to be like, hey, I'm actually a chill guy. I'm a nice guy. What you see is not, portrayed is not really me. But then you continually shoot yourself in the foot by doing things like this. It's a personality flaw. Okay? That's all it is. And sometimes things like this can strip away the persona you try to build because it makes you look like a fraud. It makes you look like, okay, you're something here, but then you're something here. Who's the real person?
Yeah.
Just if you're that person, just fully embrace it. But like if you try to, both sides it, then you end up looking like more of a jerk and more of a fool. So for Bryson, like, dude, just play golf. Like, deal with the rules. Just play golf. All right? And if you don't want to play golf, then just do YouTube full time. But this whole like threatening things and thinking you're above the game, get real. You're not Tiger Woods. Get real. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. A lot of the pro golfers felt this way because those antics, those theatrics, delayed the release of the round 3 tee times for a major that everybody's waiting on so they can play on. Rory McIlroy. He's won a bunch of majors. Here's what he had to say about Bryson.
Look, I won't pretend to be up here and defend Bryson. I'm not particularly fond of him. I think a lot of it's performative. I think a lot of it's for attention. And to hold the tournament hostage like that and have all of us, volunteers, players, everyone waiting on him to depart, I didn't feel like it was a great look.
Is he describing Bryson DeChambeau or my 2.5-year-old boy when he's throwing a tantrum? I feel like it's performative. He just wants it for attention. Listen, when you're drawing parallels between a golfer and a toddler, come on.
Scottie was a little less there was less indictment in what Scottie had to say. Basically, like, I've never seen him cheat. He did have the quote where he's like, he is a lot of things, but I don't know that he's a cheater, which is a great Scottyism, but also kind of indicative.
Very
of
subtle.
It's a backhanded way to do it. It's not really all that subtle.
Right.
Well, and they have known each other, right? Remember, Bryson went to SMU. He lives in Grapevine. Scottie lives in Dallas. Like,
maybe this is why Rory has a vendetta against everything Texas.
Belong to a lot of the similar clubs and DFWs. Like, there is crossover there, and I don't think it's worth kind of going out and blasting him for it, because there is an argument to be made that, like, if he isn't Bryson DeChambeau, he might get away with it, but they're showing every single one of his shots, and so that kind of plays a role in it. So he's almost kind of, they've got more of a watchful eye on him, and maybe it's not, officiated the same for everybody.
It's kind of like, I don't remember what year it was, but Tiger at the Masters, where he had the drop at 15, and they asked him about it afterwards. Like, I just stepped back 2 feet, dropped it. He, like, the internet police that watch every single thing and are gonna call in to the PGA Tour, or in this case the R&A, and he said this, and that's technically not allowed. And like, there's an element of there are more watchful eyes on Bryson than there are on many of the other golfers on tour, including Fox, who won the whole thing on Thursday or Friday before everybody knew that he was going to be in contention. Was he as closely watched as Bryson was on Friday afternoon? Like, there are factors here, but also just don't be a baby. Like, it really can be that simple. And he was a petulant child about the whole thing, as he. Like, this is not the first time. There's a reason why Rory has the opinion that he does. Yes. Yeah. So.
And now he's got to try to do some damage control on it. I look forward to his next YouTube video.
Well, that's the thing. He won't even talk to the media.
Yeah. And that just adds to the baby nature of all of this. Like, come on.
Yes.
Man. Have some level of accountability. Take some responsibility.
Bryson DeChambeau, the Argentinian players, acting like goofs.
Dude.
No, it's just athletes in 2026.
That is part of it.
Like, compliment us and praise us when we do well, and if we don't do well, don't even mention my name.
Yeah.
It's just classic.